This portion of the John Fredericks Show is brought to you by Hargrave Military Academy. Attend an educational and informative open house event at Hargrave Military Academy in Chatham, Virginia. For more information, visit online at hargrave.edu. Hargrave Military Academy. Build his future.
Joining us now live in Cairo, senior foreign correspondent for CBS, Edward Yeranian. How you doing, Edward?
Thank you, John. I'm okay. Generally, of course, Cairo gets to you after a while, but a lot of downside to a possible military action, as you pointed out. If you look at the people that are supporting this, you really need to say, why are they supporting it? And then look at the people who are not supporting it. I think the case has been made that there's a large coalition that's supporting it. That's what Secretary Kerry was trying to point out, but there really isn't. The Saudis are gung-ho on this. They want to see Assad out. They don't like Iran. They don't like Hezbollah. Neither do I, of course. But anyway, the Turks would like to see us do this because this puts Islamists in the saddle in Syria if Assad is taken out. Certainly helps their position. The opposition council is almost it's certainly largely in the hands of the Muslim Brotherhood these days. I think Secretary Kerry was a bit disingenuous about that when one of the senators asked him the question about how representative the opposition council is. Jordan is not supporting this, even though they've got half an armada on their soil. I guess they take a lot of money from Saudi Arabia, so they have to humor them. Egypt is not supporting this. Cyprus, which is right next door and has 2 British bases on its soil, is not supporting this. The Pope is not supporting this. The International Committee of the Red Cross, which is involved in the humanitarian efforts in Syria very heavily, is not supporting this. And many people, humanitarian workers on the ground, are saying if you do this, you're going to kill more people, you're going to take out more houses, and you're going to create more refugee flows. At the very, very least, what's going to happen is if the rebels are strengthened, they're going to take more territory that they don't already control, which is in government hands, which has a lot of government supporters on its soil, and those people will become refugees as well. So there's a lot of downside to this operation, which Secretary Kerry is not telling you about.
Well, sure. I mean, they're only going to give you the one side of the story, which is, again, we have to do something. We have to get involved. We can't sit idly by. Atrocities, children are dying, but they don't make mention of, what the consequences are here. And I think you summed it up aptly. There's not even consensus within our Middle East partners what to do. There certainly isn't any consensus. I mean, what's the purpose of the UN? I'm going to get Pam Falk back on tomorrow. I'm going to say, what is the purpose of the body you cover? I mean, they never do anything meaningful to help us. You know what? We need to kick them out of New York. And like Mayor Ed Koch said, wave goodbye on standing on the Statue of Liberty as they ship out. I mean, the UN is nowhere on this because they get blocked in the Security Council by China and Russia at every move. So they're feckless. So why are we getting involved in this when we don't even have? Britain's got no interest in this at all. I mean, this makes no sense, Edward.
Yes, well, internationally, it's a very dangerous neighborhood. I think the thing that we should be most worried about, even if we have some sort of desire to act, which I personally do not, but in any case, the danger, of course, is either Hezbollah or Iran attack Israel, or they have air to surface to sea missiles, Russian Yakhont missiles, and they could have a lucky strike and take out one of our ships. If they did that, we'd really be in trouble. I mean, the British and the French in 1956, when they helped invade the Suez Canal, it was with the Israelis, they never came back from that defeat there. It was a humiliating defeat, and they never recovered their superpower status ever after that. I mean, do we want that to happen? What if Iran takes out one of our aircraft carriers in the Persian Gulf? I mean, it may be a stretch, but it's not impossible. They could get lucky, and what would we do then?
The consequences of action way outweigh inaction. I just had Congressman Morgan Griffith, a Republican from Virginia, on, and he summed it up because I asked him the question point blank. I'm like, Congressman, if we do nothing, what happens? His answer, nothing. if we do something, well, we don't know what's going to happen. 90% of it's bad. So this absolutely makes no sense. I'm telling you, this is all about President Obama's red line statement. And now it's all about his political capital and nothing to do with the strategic or security interests of the United States. And you've got the military industrial sales complex and the whole sales machine led by John McCain out. And now John Kerry, who's jumped on it, churning this thing up. And there's so many conflicting evidence. You know what? We still don't know for 100% sure if these chemical weapons were launched by Assad, because there's some reports now, and I'm not into conspiracy theories, saying that there was phone intercepts that were manipulated by the Israeli government. I mean, we're not 100% sure. If you look at this thing on face value, it didn't make any sense for Assad to do this. So even if it's 95%, we're not 100% sure. Hey, Edward, I'm out of time, but I got to tell you, involvement in the Syrian conflict every hour of every day makes less sense to me. Appreciate your being on. I got to take off. Thanks, Edward.
Thank you, John.